What up, Hunt?
What's up, dude? How are you, man?
Oh, hanging in there. How about yourself, brother?
Chilling.
Um, what's new? How you doing? Liking this MPH? It's more than I bargained for, to be honest. But
Yeah, a bit off a fucking huge chunk.
um,
Shit.
I finally, oh man, I have to start paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like everything's fucking hitting. I'm leaving for Cancun on Tuesday, I think. So like
But
right in the middle of everything being
I
due.
know, I know. You'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we got this. Hey guys, how are y'all?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Hi there.
Okay. Waking up slowly.
Same. All right, so I'm recording this whatever Zoom meeting so that way we can upload a link or figure that out once we get done. I'll take care of that. I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to be doing right today. It's just introducing each other.
Yeah, I was kind of confused about that too. I was like looking through the syllabus and I'm like, wait, am I missing something? Was there something due? I think the only thing that we have due is the like discussion post that's due tomorrow.
I
Yeah,
think that's due later this week, the
Yeah, I think
discussion.
the 9th.
I think it's due on the 6th, right?
I thought it was the 9th. I thought it opened. Is that a group thing?
Okay, so one group has to do the initial post and then another group has to do the response. So I think we're doing the initial post for discussion.
yeah. I think odds are doing the initial post.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's due tomorrow.
There's so much like with these to keep track of in each course. I'm getting like confused with
Me
the
too. It's a
which
lot.
one is which. So that's group, right? It's not individual. It's our
Yeah.
group. Is
It's
it
our
is it
group.
our group split or is it our group with another group?
It's our group, and then we have to. Group 16 has to respond to our post.
Okay. Okay. So then today is just forgive me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm mixing the classes, but today is just we're supposed to meet, like record ourselves, like just like introducing each other and like kind of just getting settled on like everyone's whereabouts and schedule, and then we can upload that as like our initial meet and greet, right? Or is that a different class I'm thinking of?
No,
No, I
that's
think-
this one.
That's
Yeah.
this one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do all the journal logging. So I'll just type up a quick synopsis of what we talked about and then if you, Hunter, do you go by Hunt or Hunter?
Hunt is fine or Hunter, whatever.
Okay, yeah, if you could email me the link to the recording of this meeting, I guess that has to be
Sure.
included.
Yeah, I'll handle all the Zoom and Zoom recordings and stuff.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you guys for that.
There was another group number 6. Let me pull it up. They already kind of like did it on their they already uploaded it into their
Oh,
lesson.
the journal log?
Yeah, so let's go. I'm gonna see what they kind of did. I think they answered the question for discussion forum 1, like, which I guess we can go ahead and do since we're all here. And then they did their groups or their let's see.
So wait, we're team 15 and 16, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oops. All right, I just sent you a screenshot of it. So yeah, they answered to the prompt and the first question, and then they just assigned the roles. So like structure of the meeting, initial draft after the meeting, final upload for assignment prompt 1, who's going to manage the APA style, who's going to do the final proofread, ensure flow for prompt 1, and then who's taking care of the journal entry and Zoom video.
Okay. That's in reference to this meeting right now, or is that in reference to the discussion that we were talking about?
I think the video uploads are just supposed to be any meeting we have. And I guess since we have to have a discussion about prompt 1, they just put it all together. They assigned all their roles, the meet and greet, and then did the prompt 1 is what I'm considering happened.
Okay.
So that's a lot. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we're discussion 1 and 3. So our theme is using the definition of public health discussed in class, the article, what is the new public health? And the lectures thus far. What major themes or messages would you suggest for this video? Why? How would you propose packaging these messages? Why?
So for each post, we have to like have all those roles designated. Is that what it was?
No, I think if we designate those roles and like that's just our role for the whole term, it's fine. Or we can change it every time, whatever you would like to do.
Okay, that makes sense.
So here's the discussion prompt. All right, I just sent it in the group. What's
Thanks.
up?
Okay, cool. So then do we physically type out our like responses to the prompt, or do we talk about it in this recording and that is in the upload as well?
We
That's-
talk about it in this recording. It'll be in the upload, and then Hannah,
So
who's
just like a brief like
with like the brief synopsis for discussion forum, I guess, right?
Okay, so you want me to type it into the discussion as well? So what I said I was gonna do was the journal entry.
Oh, sorry.
But I can do the discussion.
Well, we
I'd-
can have someone else do the actual
Okay.
type it into the
So like, are we going to take notes on this discussion and then someone just types that up?
yeah, basically. Like we had like my environmental yesterday. So we just basically created a Google Doc. As we were talking, we put in our bullet notes, and then one of the girls was gonna write it up and like just make everything flow and look better. Right.
okay.
Good idea. I like the Google Doc
Okay,
idea. Then we
yeah.
can all add to it.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't mind doing the write-up for this week, and somebody could switch for the other week.
I'll do it next week or
Second.
whatever the
Yeah.
next week is. No problem. We'll do whatever. As long as we just communicate, it shouldn't be an issue.
Mhm.
And make sure that everyone does something that way we'll all, contribute. I'm like horrible with technology, but I could do that there. I could do that stuff. I really am. I'm the worst, dude. Okay.
All right. So here's
I was just trying to clarify when this is due, because from my understanding, it's not due tomorrow, it's due later in the week. Where did you see that it was due
So
tomorrow?
the actual discussion 1 is due on the 9th, as per my
Yep.
calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he's
that's
right.
when it's due, I guess 11 o'clock on the 9th. But the entry for the for the meeting is due today.
Right.
Yes, I'll do that. today.
So yeah.
I went through like all the syllabi and tried to write those dates down, but it's confusing because some of them say like opens and then like deadline. So it's like
Mm,
when it's
Yeah.
actually due.
Wait, I'm
versus
going to
when
send you
it's
guys a picture of what I'm seeing because, okay, hold on.
No, multiple times a week, I like panic and I check all the calendars for everything because I'm like, I'm probably missing something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what you.
Because I even talked to someone else and she said that it's due tomorrow.
One thing I've done is I actually don't trust the Sakai calendar stuff. If you look on our syllabi,
Right.
go like week 1, week 2, that's how I've been able. So every like couple of days, I'll open up the syllabi, look at each one. Okay, what's this week? What's next week? What's this week?
Yeah. I've never opened up syllabi more than I have.
Yeah, this time you have to, like, you really have to.
I went through them all and like wrote it down. I figured like
Yeah,
half the battle is just like making sure I don't miss a deadline for something like easy where you just like
yeah.
All right, so I was wrong. The initial response is due tomorrow, and then group 16's response is due Thursday.
That's on the 9th.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good pickup. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Aubrey.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no worries. So since there's 4 discussion posts, right? And there's like what, 7 of us? Do you guys want to split it so we do like 2 each? Oh wait, no. There's 7, or is there 8 of
Yeah,
us?
but we also have to do isn't there like there's a group project. We have to do a project pitch where we like record speaking against like how to vaccinate COVID in Grenada and the challenges, and like a PowerPoint presentation, and then like a final output presentation or project or paper or something. So there's a lot. It's like this whole class is group based.
Right.
So, yay to no exams.
Yeah, that's no PTSD from Exemplify. At least with
Oh,
this.
dude, I've been scared opening up these Sakai quizzes because I don't even know how they answer or ask questions, and SG always fucked us.
Actually, just curious. Did you guys do that? Like check your knowledge or whatever?
Not yet, and
I'm
you know, I
gonna-
logged in.
Yeah,
I
it was
logged in
really
this
easy.
morning,
It was
and it
really
wasn't
easy.
there.
Mhm.
It wasn't there,
Didn't-
right? It opened up Friday morning. I was confused on that because they I don't know, they snuck it in there because like I said, I went through the syllabus, but then I saw like in the lessons tab on the thing that was there as well.
No,
So
I had the login and no classes are present on Sakai. So I
Oh,
usually
yeah,
use
yeah.
Firefox, yeah. And then I went to Chrome. I'm like, all right, what the hell?
yeah,
I tried Safari and it finally opened. So I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
you have to like
Clear
clear
cache,
your
yeah.
history. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. All of those are I just downloaded Chrome, put it that way, and it still didn't show up. So,
Right.
but in Safari it worked, thank God. So I didn't close my browser. I left it open. Hopefully it.
I just didn't know what to check your knowledge if it was like
Yeah.
something where we have to like have our, like it's hard, like we have to like have our lectures slides out in front of us, or if
It's like 4 questions.
4 questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said it's open note too for the.
Well, I
check
didn't know if you were
knowledge.
like graded based on did you complete it or like how you did on the 4 questions, you know? So I didn't know like
Hmm.
if it's something that you would want to have out, but
I think it is graded based on correct answers. It's not just participation,
okay.
but they're fairly simple. You'll be fine. I did double check my notes for a couple of them. I didn't want to lose points unnecessarily.
Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What term were y'all guys? Were y'all like 2017?
Yeah, that's everyone's like situations, I guess.
Do you remember like
August
for term 1, every week we had those concept quizzes every Friday they were due? Those, you remember, Greg?
I remember.
Those were the
I blocked that out of my memory.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then we'll talk about the discussion prompt then now.
Yep.
Right. And then and is that the one that you posted, Hunt? Like that's ours, the initial post?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
So do we want to open up a Google Doc to
I sent
put
the link.
in notes? Oh, you did. Okay.
Did I not send it? I have it ready. Hold on.
Oh, you did. You did.
Let me see.
You did send it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna send that to my
So do we want to have like a designated
copy.
note taker for the Google Doc?
I can do that.
Okay. Who was that?
I'll just mute myself. It was Harpreet thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mute myself so you guys don't hear me. But
Okay.
Also, can I just say that we share the same name, and out of 150 students, they put us in the same group. Not that I don't mind. I'm like,
I was like, I haven't had this since like high school days where like I
Same.
was in the same group as someone with
Yeah.
the same name as me, but
yeah,
it's funny.
but I welcome it. Whatever.
They
Right.
said it was all random, but I'm pretty sure they just like took blocks of 7 people, like it went
Yeah.
down
I think
the
it was just
roll call,
alphabetical order or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're all H's.
Yeah.
Besides Greg and Jay.
Well, I mean, G and H are pretty close to each other.
That's true.
So I don't know. It's possible. But okay, let's do this. Seems pretty straightforward. It doesn't really seem I mean, I like the idea of taking the notes for it just so we could jot it down, but I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
So we have to provide input into the development of a video explaining public health to the general public. What is the new public health?
So yeah, what is?
Okay.
I mean, I think like the main like theme, just like from a broad sense to start with, would be like, because it says right in reference to like our definition of public health discussed in class, which probably isn't going to vary from what any other, you know, typical definition would be, but I think like it should start predominantly with like.
Sorry, I need to get edit access.
Oh,
It won't let me type.
editor.
Did you approve it?
Okay, yeah, I just switched it. Try it now.
Well, just one quick bullet point. The new public health, I think we have to consider is really just social communication at this point,
Right.
because everything is, where is everyone accessing their information from now? So it's online, whether it be their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
Yeah.
or what have you.
So like, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like maybe, like I think it starts with like self-awareness. Like how do you what do you understand and what information do you know? And then like you said, social communication. So like once you understand what you do know and what you don't know and what you want to know, then the resources you're accessing to further gain that information, like what are those resources? What's the validity like? Like you said, today's day and age, social media is big, but sometimes that information isn't always true or accurate. So, you know, being aware of where you're getting your information from and who's putting that information out.
Yeah. I think we should like focus like on like healthcare education, right? Like making sure you want to like let everyone know what's going on with public health, what it actually means. Because like I remember 6 months ago, I've taken all these public health classes, but I just know what public health is and like in my mind, but to actually be able to like point out and say, hey, this is actually what it is, and like put it in words for someone who's in layman's terms was quite difficult for me. I actually had to like look up the definition and be like, oh, you know, it's the cycle of everything. So I think definitely like bringing awareness to it and just educating people and how it can actually benefit your life by, you know, primary prevention and like vaccinations, the importance of vaccinations, and like listening to, like you said, like a reliable source. So.
Right. Like starting on like a simple scale and then obviously like going towards like a global scale. I look at it in terms like, this might be a bad like example, but like voting, right? Like voting on anything, like voter education is important, because it's like, it's one thing to just go out and vote for something or someone, but it's another thing to know why you're voting, and then also the why, like the resources behind the why. Because like a lot of people focus on like same thing with public health, like, well, what is public health? What messages do we want to convey? Well, like before you can answer that question, you need to like establish like the why and like where you're getting that information from. So I think that's good, like what Hunt said, like predominantly starting with like educating people on public health and what it means, and then breaking it down into like the, you know, the subpopulations of things that matter most to you at an individual level.
The prompt says that we should reference this article, which I didn't have a chance to look through yet. What is the new public health? That was like posted within the discussion prompt. I don't know if you guys saw that. So I was just trying to go through that really quickly to see if we can get any ideas from that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a relatively long, but pretty easy to skim. Well, I mean, if you read the summary and conclusion.
Where are you finding this article?
Pardon?
What's that?
Where is the article?
So if you go to the discussion tab and then discussion 1,
It's like just
Sorry, I'm
right.
trying to reload it.
If you click like discussions and then just click discussion one,
Mhm.
it's like a little. There's like 4 bullet like PDFs, and it just says what is the new public health.
Yeah, there's like the rubric and then effective presentations.
I just sent
PDF,
it in
and
the
then-
WhatsApp group if you have that.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
That'll be better.
You're welcome.
But like honestly, I mean, just looking at it like at first glance, like it's basically saying like kind of what we just said. It's all about like social awareness and communication. And because like it's basically saying like, well, what we're seeing today, even like with COVID, the huge issue is conflicting ideas. So it's basically about like communicating so that at each level, you know, whether it's the federal level, the state level, or even just like in your own home or community, communicating like the necessities so that you're like working in unison, which is, you know, pretty self-explanatory. But I think now like they're trying to stress that because there's so much divide just between something like what Hunt mentioned, like vaccinated versus unvaccinated. Like, okay, cool, that's your choice, but why? So something as simple as that. I think that's like what they're stressing. Maybe I'm wrong. Please correct me if I am.
So what I just honestly I didn't read it, but I just quickly skimmed it. So they encompass it being evidence-based. So you have the scientific portion, but also the access to the information. That's one of their big prompts on that as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And like understanding like each country, they're trying to do like the economic epidemiology and the socio-political aspects of it all, but that doesn't mean that each country is at the same level or they are not lagging in certain areas, right?
Right.
So you have to make sure that like what we are promoting is helping, you know, further that agenda and bring it up to speed.
I think like what you're trying to get at, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like making it accessible on multiple levels. So regardless of where those different countries are in that, and even within a country, I was reading what you posted about that other group and they were talking about it, and I agree, where it's like for elderly people, you know, they say like TV adverts. I'm like, that's 100% true, because elderly people, you know, boomers, like that would work, versus us, we're like, we don't want, who has TV, who's cable.
Yeah.
No
My
offense if any
grandparents still have
cable.
direct TV.
Yeah. No offense, but like you have 4 subscription services that you share amongst like multiple family members, and you know, that's it. You don't get adverts anymore. So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
okay,
It's
so
always-
if you look at the actual discussion prompt 1, what major themes or messages would you suggest for this video? Why? So what I'm saying is I think we all have a good general idea of what public health is. I think when you look at the article, it's pretty much what we expect it to be. Science-based, dissemination, study, and access. So I guess for the sake of answering number 1, we could perhaps start to think towards that prompt. What major themes or messages will you suggest for the video?
All right. Well, I think we've been like saying it, but I'm going to say it like explicitly, like, 'cause I think we all touched on it. Social awareness, communication, education.
Okay, I would add evidence. So we are letting
Right.
people know that this is evidence based on research and science. It's not just mystical magic, because we have to build trust as well.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know if we're capturing that in the
And
notes.
access,
Yeah, I think-
and access to the information as well.
Right.
People need
right.
to be, have access.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, what's your first name? It says Jay.
Oh,
also.
yeah, I just saw that. Sorry, Jamil.
No, Jamil.
Yeah, yeah. So I think,
I
think
agree
you're
with
right.
you
You did
that, but
Mhm.
I agree with you that like the main foundation of all of it should be that it's evidence-based, based in
Mhm.
scientific fact and research, because I think that's where a lot of the distrust and like the vaccine hesitancy comes from, people basing their ideas around things that aren't true and all this widespread misinformation.
So I guess if we're in agreement for number 1, we would bullet point or highlight those 4 or 5 topics, and then do we give enough reasoning to the why for each one, or should we add to it?
Well, I think that if we want to, like we said, like bullet point those like 3 to 5 things, and then if we wanted to just like briefly say it, we could, but they're pretty self-explanatory. But I think it's more piggybacking on the second question, because the second one says, how would you propose packaging these messages? And like just in reference to what you said, like I was just going broad, right? Like social awareness, education, communication, access. Okay, simple, right? There's 4. What
Right.
you said with the evidence makes more sense to me, and I could be wrong for the second part, because then it says, how do you package these messages? So I would put on the second part saying like, well, I package this in a fashion that lets the viewer or the audience know that this information is coming from a valid source, that it's evidence-based, that it's not just, you know, like you said, mystical magic, that it's based in scientific knowledge and based in, you know, public study. And that to me would be more for number 2.
Right. No, I got you. If you read above is like we're pretending to be a TV producer. So if we are creating an advertisement or a messaging video, is how are we packaging that video? I think is what, at least as I'm reading the prompt, is what they're really
It
asking.
would be like targeted Facebook ads and Instagram ads, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
To
That's
like
what I'm
the younger
thinking.
generation.
Examples,
Huh?
like specific examples, like social media, things like that.
You know, like when
Yeah.
you say, "Oh, Cancun," and your phone hears you, and the next thing you know, you have Instagram ads for like all these resorts in Cancun. That's what I mean. Like the
Yeah, I understand it as Hunter does too. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then, you know, for the elderly, like they said, either ads on TV or
commercials, or even commercials, or like
Newspaper
mail.
ads. I don't know. Do they?
I was
read
thinking newspaper ads too, but I think a lot of people
Newspaper,
still read the news. You know, I mean, I
Well,
think
we got to stay focused. We are TV producers, so I'm assuming they're just specifically talking about television.
true. So it'd
Well,
be
the prompt
it'd
says
be
development
creating-
of a video.
Okay,
Right,
so
explaining public health.
it has
So
to be
I
like
think
a
the video
30-second
can be
video.
packaged. Yeah, the
Mhm.
video can be packaged in like social media. I don't think it has to be just TV, because a lot of people don't even watch
I
TV.
think
right?
the point of that is I think we're taking it a little too literal. Like I don't think we need to be like, hey, I'm a producer and I think it's more so like, what would you want the message to contain if you were that producer? Like, I don't think we actually have to pretend to be a TV producer. Like,
Right,
you need to say like, hey, this is what we want to say. This is how we want to get it across. And from a
Correct.
social media standpoint, like obviously targeting an elderly population will be harder, but for a social media standpoint, for like our generations, it would be easy to say like Hunter said, like targeting Facebook ads, targeting Instagram ads. And then even in that, it's so simple to upload a link like, hey, put the message out. Like he said, like, oh, what does public health mean to you? Like, are you aware of this, this, and this? And then even put a link there, like, oh, and then add a link, like, then that link could take you to the source where that information came from. So like the attention grabber, and then the source being like, oh, it's not just someone on YouTube. It's a legitimate link to an article that supports this information. So like that would be, you know, something simple. But like for the elderly, like you said, if you put an ad in the paper or an infomercial on TV, you know, you can't include a link like that. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
No, there's QR codes. Anything with print, there's QR codes, or you can still write the link out. But yeah, I think the packaging goes what you were saying. So like, do we say we start the video is we define public health and the method we go about doing that and why they should trust it or understand it or whatever we're trying to communicate in that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even for the ads, like for the elderly, for the TV ads, I mean, we could even cross use that on like ads for Hulu, right? Our actual, not just social media, but our actual video entertainment sources that actually still produce ads for those people who pay for the basic.
Right.
You know, like
I
that.
would just go like, what's the importance of public health? And what is the importance of public health and like understanding to the general public, like the 3 to 5 themes that we bullet pointed, and then packaging, like just like you said, like how can we target all age demographics, and then the means by which we're doing that, like a very concise, like that's
right. We would show why is it important to you. When you're selling that message, you have to always let people know why it's important to them.
Right.
Yeah. So we could give examples in the video package or whatever.
All right, just so you know, it only allows us 40-minute group things. So in 10 minutes, the program's gonna shut off, and then I'll send another link out for us to like get back on.
Perfect. But I think we're
Thank
good,
you.
right? Do we need more
Good.
information? I think we have captured it all though, right?
I do too. I mean, I just, like I said, I would just put like understand the importance of public health and what it means to you. The 4 themes that we said, like what education, access, communication, and social awareness, and then just say like we would target these age groups using these resources, and we would provide substantial evidence to back up that information, like within
Yeah,
each targeted ad.
right.
or
And
whatever.
show why it's important to the individual we're targeting
Right.
in a video. Yeah, that's the message.
And then like the other group, I'm assuming, who has to piggyback off it, it's probably just going to be like, how would you respond to that from your perspective if you were the viewer? Like if I had to guess, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
She's not looking for us to write like a paper. She's looking for us to put like a couple bullet points and just a quick little
Yeah, I
excerpt.
think it's supposed to be like 300 to like 500 words.
Yeah, it's like a
2
paragraph.
paragraphs. Like
Yeah.
2 paragraphs. Yeah. Hazel, if you want, since I typed it up, I could help you with it. We could work on it together, and then like everyone else could just look at the Google Doc and like add whatever they want. If you guys want to do that.
Sure.
Oh, I could just look at the Google Doc. I could write it up and I could send it to you to like proofread it.
Yeah,
That's
just send it
fine.
in the group chat, and then
Yeah, and then you
Okay.
can proofread it. And are we using any references apart from the article
Articles?
that was listed there?
I think it also says we can use the lecture notes. So if you just want to throw in like a couple of those definitions from
Okay.
lecture about like the definition of public health, I think there was one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the
Right, I
definition,
think 2 or
that's a good
3.
idea. I think the definition would suffice. And then like just reference the article, put the 4 themes, how we're gonna advertise it, and then like probably like a paragraph.
I think per APA format, there is a way to reference lectures as well.
Yeah.
And if you need any help with the APA formatting, we can help with that too.
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
As far as the next set assignments, you guys, whoever wants to assign or whatever, just assign me something. You don't have to even ask. Just say, "Hey, Jamil, you're doing this," and I'll do it.
All right, sounds
Thank
They
good.
make it simple. Yeah, they make it simple.
Appreciate it.
And yeah,
Alright.
guys, don't hesitate like to reach out to one another, communicate like anything. Like I'm literally all, I mean, we all like today's age, we have our phone near us. So like anyone has a question or even if it's just like, oh, is this due or what did whatever, just don't hesitate to reach out. Because like communication is the biggest thing. If we communicate, then we'll make it a lot easier on ourselves.
I agree. Yeah, and reach out if you need help, for sure. Except from Tuesday to Friday, because I won't be in town. I'm kidding. I actually have to work. It sucks. All righty. Thank you guys for meeting today. That's good. Easy peasy.
Good, right? Yeah, we covered everything, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And just like real quick before we sign off, is everyone like on the same like time wise? Like it's not like a crazy different time of day for anyone else in our group, right? Like for me, it's like 11:30 in the morning, right? For everyone else too, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm
we're all
East Coast. Yeah,
East
it's
Coast.
just when the time changes. If anyone's in Grenada,
It'll
it'll
be
be
like,
an hour difference. Yeah.
okay, all right. I
When
just
does
want
the time change?
like October.
Okay.
I think like second week of October or something.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I just wanted to ask because I didn't know if like I didn't want it to be like one person's always getting
Yeah.
put in.
Yeah.
different-
Hey, yeah. If you were in Pacific time right now, that would suck.
yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Y'all have a good Labor Day. Be safe. Don't get too crazy. Whatever y'all decide to do.
Get crazy. We have that biostats. Midterm this Thursday. So. good
Oh
luck.
yeah. Do y'all get this
Yeah.
probability stuff?
That's what I'm
He's
doing for
my
the rest of the day.
advisor, and I feel like probably isn't going to be that like difficult. I feel like he goes into more detail in the lectures, and I think he even teaches us stuff that we don't need to know because he'll even say, right, like, oh, you guys don't need to know this, but I wanted to say it anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that bad, but
Did you guys do the quiz already? Was it like doable?
it's
Yeah.
It was really
Tonight.
easy.
It was really easy. I
Mhm.
emailed him, and he just said it's 5 questions. It's based on the first two lectures, and
Uh-huh.
the answers are right in the slides. He said.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Oh, thank
There
God.
weren't even any
Yeah,
calculations.
yeah, it's there. What'd you say, Hans?
There weren't any calculations.
No, right. It's just like
Yeah,
straightforward.
it's just like, yeah, super easy.
Okay.
Oh, no calculations?
No, well, what I recall, and I can't remember using my calculator, so
Okay,
yeah.
so do I need to put 8 hours in before taking it tonight, or I can get
5
away with 4?
hours, 5 minutes,
5
you'll get
hours,
it done.
8 minutes.
Control
in.
that.
Come
Okay.
on, man. Don't you? I know you have more. I know you got more important things than that.
Dude, I just I asked the advisor when we signed up. So, what's the most difficult class people have? And of course, biostats. Because I was thinking maybe I'll shuffle the schedule around and not do all 5. I'm working full time and do all the classes this term. But you have to take epidemiology and biostats to take the classes next term. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I was kind of worried about. I'm like, if I don't have the time, but yeah. So you guys you're giving me good news. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Take
Thank
care.
Take it easy. Bye.
Oh, Hunt, can
Yes.
you send me the link to this recording so I can include it in our journal entry?
Yes, I will. Let me give me a few minutes to figure out how to
Take your time.
way to do it, but I got you.
Take your
All
time. Thank you.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
guys.